What's going on, guys? This is David here. I am joined by my two lovely co-hosts, Mr. Justin Wack.
Thanks for putting me first, David.
Yeah, I felt because I haven't introduced the show in a long time and you always used to get upset that you were last, I figured I'd introduce you first this time to be nice.
I see how it is, guys.
I'm sorry. Next up, we have our other co-host that isn't so... No, okay, I was going to say that isn't so great. No,
I'm not a big
just kidding,
deal.
No. No, but we have our next co-host, Mr. Andy Hoff. What's going on, Andy?
Not much. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be recording again. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
We've got not that much to talk about. We have a few things, but it's like summer came early for the Jailbreak community this year.
Yeah, I kind of
Summer-
see what you mean. Yeah.
Because
You know-
of the fact
you know what?
that, yeah, I was just going to say, because of the fact that, like, every summer, because there's not really a Jailbreak
Yeah.
release, the Jailbreak community
there's
is,
a
like,
lull.
dead.
Yeah.
And there's a lull.
See, you know what this really reminds me of? And I don't know why, but where we're at right now totally reminds me of back in the day when we didn't have a jailbreak for, what was it, iOS 7.1x, and a certain someone decided that he was going to troll the community.
Oh yeah.
And that certain someone is known for selling bugs to China and having quite a few associations with China. And a certain other someone who we could mention, who, if you're not in the jailbreak community and don't know who this person is, then you need to go on Reddit immediately,
Oh, he's all over.
has also done a very similar thing to a certain Ionic that I could mention. So
yes.
what is going on with this guy? So, like, enMTW is a guy that we interviewed on the show, and enMTW is a guy that we had, and he did an interview on Thursday, and he basically said many things were said, some of which are too explicit to go into on this show.
Yeah.
And then the next day, it was announced that he had sold his so-called exploits that he may or may not have had to China. So, what do you guys think of this whole situation?
I don't know. It's very interesting. Basically, he was on another podcast, Jailcast, and basically he said that he was going to either do a few things. He said he was either going to sell his bugs to China or release an SSH only version of the jailbreak tool. And basically, he opted to sell the bugs to China. So we're not sure if this is either the Taiji team, the Pengu team, or a completely different team. But he did say that the Chinese entity, whatever it may be, does have intentions to release a public jailbreak. He also said that that basically he could have made more money if he sold it for non-jailbreak use, but he did it for the community. So I don't know. Personally, I'm not. I don't entirely believe this, as I've said in the past. Like, there's no real way to tell until something actually comes out.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe we'll see a Chinese jailbreak with enMTW in the credits. So I guess we'll just have to see.
Okay, here's my 2 cents on this. Personally, I'm of the opinion that he didn't have a jailbreak in the first place, and
Yeah.
we all got trolled. That's honestly that's my opinion. And
Yeah.
just as someone who interviewed him, he obviously he talked a very big game, and he said that he was doing this and doing that. But you know what? Like, but the thing is, he's never provided valid proof that he has a jailbreak, and
Right.
the fact that he says on April Fool's, no less, "Oh yeah, I sold my jailbreak to China," like
Yeah.
that really makes me think that this entire thing is just one elaborate thing that he did. And I
Right.
could be completely off base with this, but that's personally what I think. Now, could I be wrong? Yes, but that's just in my opinion what I think is happening right now.
Right. Well, a lot of people have been white knighting, enTW since the very beginning on Reddit, on Twitter, all over the place. And a lot of people have been saying, well, maybe he's doing it because, the community, and he's, obviously verbalized his opinions, both on Twitter and on Reddit, how, the community is very toxic, and there are certain people in the community that aren't the best. But, the community is very toxic, and he doesn't want to have to deal with the community. So basically, the act of selling his exploits to China, whether or not, I'm saying that with air quotes, by the way, whether or not he actually had a jailbreak in the first place is questionable because, like, Justin had brought up previously, there's been no proof really regarding this jailbreak other than the fact that he talks big game and says, oh yeah, it's going to be called Gucci Break. We're going to have, a Gucci Mane song play when it's jailbreak. I mean, like, it sounds cool, and, maybe you even think, okay, like, this guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what 0 days are. He knows what all this stuff is. He's legit. He has legitimate people following him. I Hate Snow follows him. All these other people that are legitimate follow him, so he's got to be legitimate. But then you get down to it that he announced, I mean, like, if he's not fake, look at this for timing, that, like, he announced that he sold his exploits to China on April Fool's Day. Like,
I don't know. Like, he has provided, some compelling
Has he,
evidence.
though?
For example, that blue dot. Like, Luca Tedesco agreed and said he's had that blue dot next to Cydia on his device, too. So, I mean, how would he have known that, Like, there is some compelling evidence. However, that could easily have been, I don't know, there could obviously be something going on. There's no real way to tell, again, until something's out. And honestly, I just think we're going to have to see. But
right.
I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this one, to be honest.
Another thing that's interesting, I just wanted to point out, too, is that most of the people because what he did was, which I actually thought was kind of interesting, is he spun it, and this is like a whole kind of conspiracy against it, is he spun it like, yeah, he was, making the entire community, basically have, say in this, and he was going to listen to what the community had to say and maybe even pick what the community picked. So he said, okay, everybody, I'm going to post this to Reddit. I'm going to say what your options are, and you guys can vote on it, and whatever the vote is, if I feel that I want to do it, I'll do it, and I'll make the decision, and I'll talk about it tomorrow. So he did, but most of the people that were, voting on Reddit had said that they wanted an SSH tool, and on Twitter, too. But there were, apparently, according to him, some people also that were saying to sell it off to China, and I guess when he saw that, he wanted to do that because of the toxic community. He didn't want his name being associated with it. Basically, on the separate interview with Jailcast, whatever, he basically kind of talked about, hey, look, the jailbreak community I don't love, it's taking up my entire timeline. I just want my Twitter back. Everybody's tweeting me with stuff, which I totally understand. If he was real, if it was me, it would bug the hell out of me, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
If that was going on.
See, my thing, there's a couple things that bother me with this, though, and there's a couple contradictions. The main one being that on every interview he's done, he said that this is something that's entirely for the community. I'm not doing this for the money. And yet he goes and he says, I am selling my exploits to China. This is if he even has exploits, mind you.
Well, but I don't think it was for the money, like I was pointing out earlier.
But he's selling them. He's getting monetary value out of them. Like, you can't tell me that it's not for the money if he's, you know what I mean? Like, he's selling his exploits. Like, if he wasn't doing it for the money, he would give his exploits to...
I know. Right. It sounds like he had a change of heart, honestly, or maybe he just got fed up with the community.
Which is understandable. I mean, he's been getting tons of Twitter mentions and stuff, and I don't know, like, just some other things, like, for example, to go live on a podcast and to insult certain people on a very, very, very personal level is not something that, like, I can understand it if you're...
It's childish.
Calling out someone's professionalism, but if you're going to insult them on a personal level like that, then, like, really, I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem like it was legit. And again, I keep saying this, I could be wrong, but that's where it stands right now. But what do you guys think about this whole thing? You can interact with us live in the chat, or you can also, if you're watching the live stream, you can interact with us in the chat. And if you're not, you can always tweet us at JB_weekly or use the hashtag jailbreak_live.
For sure, yeah. We always love to hear you guys' thoughts. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, if obviously we'll keep you guys updated on anything jailbreak related in terms of news. But as it stands, just remain skeptical as I do until we see something, I guess.
Yeah. Well, but I guess now it's back to just kind of, because I mean, obviously now that he quote unquote sold whatever he got, whatever he had to China. If he had something, now we're basically waiting on China, basically probably Taiji, because he bashed Pangu. He bashed both of them, but Pangu primarily he didn't like, so it kind of looks like he was probably leaning towards Taiji if he actually sold it. So we're waiting on Taiji to come out with a jailbreak, and if he gets credited, then he had something. If he doesn't, he didn't have something, basically.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. So
yeah,
we're just kind of waiting on
And I mean, I know I criticize him for saying that he's doing this for the community, and then he goes around and turns his turns his ideas into, okay, I'm going to sell my exploits to China. Honestly, I probably would have done the same thing, but it's just quite contradictory. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm just going to give some exploits that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars away. Like, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever do that. But I don't know. It's the whole point of this is that as of now, we're kind of in limbo, and hopefully that changes soon. We've got iOS 9.3.1 out now, so hopefully all that stuff is going to push these teams now to release a jailbreak.
Agreed. So with that being said, we have a few Cydia tweaks to talk about this week as well. And first up, we have Exsto. This basically is a new tweak that allows you to tap and hold on your folders, and it basically is going to show you a list of all the apps within that folder. And basically, it basically formats them in a circle, and it's very well designed. Basically, you just drag your finger to the specific app, basically that's in that folder, without actually opening the folder, and you release your finger on the app, and it opens the app. And this is very visual. We'll be sure to drop it in the show notes. I'll be sure to drop a video, which I'm planning on making of a demonstration of this tweak. But I don't know. It's just a really cool tweak. It's just a cool way to kind of circumvent an additional tap, just being able to tap and hold and open up a specific app. So what do you guys think about this?
To tell you the truth, I don't know. Like, I can see why this would be useful, but this isn't really something I would use.
Yeah.
Especially because you have, like, the problem is, so how many apps, like, let's say you have like 40 or 50 apps in a folder. Like, how does that work?
That's a good question. I don't have that many apps in there. As far as I can tell, it only shows, actually, hang on a second, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And how many apps do I have in the folder? Okay, yeah, so it looks like it does show you all the apps. It basically just gets more cramped and more cramped the more apps there are.
Yeah, see, because like I have like over 200 apps on my phone, so and I have everything in folders. So like it would get really cramped really fast. I have a feeling if I were to use this tweak, but again, I can see why you would use this. I don't know, personally, it's not for me, but I can definitely see why it would be useful.
Yeah, I'd have to experiment with that and just kind of see what, exactly like how that would work, because I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, what about you, David? Is this something you'd use?
I don't know. I mean, it's just like it's one of those things where like I feel like I probably would have to try it out. Like I'd have to personally like try it on my device before I really know if I like it or not. Like I don't know. It just like it. Thinking about it, like you describing it, it sounds kind of cool, like a cool idea, but like at the same time, like I just kind of have to figure out like the way it looks, and I have to like play around with it myself. So
gotcha. I don't know. It's a very well designed tweak, and I, as we just said, because we're kind of in somewhat of like a lull in the jailbreak community, it's rare that something like this comes out that's like well designed and well thought out. It's a quality tweak. I think that's fair to say. So I really appreciate that. So definitely go check out Exsto. I think it's definitely worth it. And yeah, so I think it's again. I really appreciate tweaks that kind of have quality and have decent design. So next up we have miniTime. This is another Cydia tweak. This basically makes the lock screen clock interface a little bit more, I don't know, I guess smaller and just a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Basically, how it normally displays is right in the middle of your screen on your lock screen. It shows you, of course, the time. Then underneath it, it shows you the day of the week and the date.
And all your
basically,
notifications, yeah.
yeah, basically this tweak makes it so the time itself is on the left side of the screen, upper left side, and the date information and the time is on the right side. And basically, it's very well designed because like everything is shrunken down slightly, and it just kind of it displays. For example, if you have a nice wallpaper, this could be great because I don't know. It's just it kind of allows more space for that wallpaper to fully show. If you have like a beautiful photo or something of that sort, it just kind of makes more room for that, and it just makes some elements that could be smaller, basically. So, what do you guys think?
Personally, definitely wouldn't ever use this. I have absolutely zero need for it, but again, I mean, I can see where, the clock does take up a lot of space visually. That's something obviously you just said, Andy, and it's true. I mean, I can see why it would be disconcerting to look at with your eyes, but for me, because my eyes don't work, I don't think I would ever use this tweak.
That's fair. And to be honest, even for someone with working eyes, it's a little frustrating because it's harder to read the time. It's like smaller and it's up in the top corner. Because I've been using this for a little while. It's not something I would use. I like to have a big, giant, blinking time, Abby. I don't know.
That's got to be our episode title. Big, giant, blinking time. There we go.
Well, I mean...
It doesn't blink either. But anyways.
Yeah.
Continue, David.
I was just going to say, I mean, is it one of these things that I think is useful? Yeah. Is it one of these things I think I would use? Probably not. And the reason for that is because I use, like, stock wallpapers almost all the time for, like, every single time I have a jailbroken device. Because, to be honest, like, the Apple stock wallpapers look really, really nice. Like, the iOS 9 stock wallpapers look really nice.
Oh, yeah, they totally do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I still have one of the 3D, what is it, like the 3D Touch Motion wallpapers on the Success.
That's what I have.
Oh, yeah, I love that
Success.
one. That's my favorite.
Justin's favorite. But yeah, I don't know. Again, it's free too, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah, well, that helps it out. Because if it was like 99 cents, I'd be like, forget about it.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, the previous tweak, Exsto, that we were talking about a second ago, the folder tweak, I believe that's $1, just to let everyone know.
Okay.
So anyways, again, miniTime is available for free. So we have one last tweak to talk about, and this is called Palert. It's spelled P-A-L-E-R-T. This one's available for 99 cents. This basically brings... This is another visual tweak, unfortunately, for you, Justin. This brings the Apple Watch... Or, sorry, not Apple Watch. Apple TV. Getting my
tvOS.
Yeah, tvOS-inspired pop-up menu style to iOS. So basically, on the Apple TV 4th generation, which runs tvOS... Whenever there's a pop-up menu asking you, okay, cancel, yes, no, things like that, it's a little bit different than iOS. It's, there's like a gray tint in the background, and when you tap on the buttons, there's like a little white border that pops up, and it kind of gets bigger as you tap and, release your finger. It basically just ports that to iOS, so if you prefer that, you could use it. There's also a few settings in terms of like blur and stuff like that you could configure. I don't know. I think it looks much better than iOS as a default, but at the same time, it doesn't really fit in with the operating system. So, right. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I have kind of a little bit of a different view on this because, Andy, I know you don't have an Apple TV 4th generation. I actually do. So, and I, love that thing to death. It's actually, so awesome. I had not had an Apple TV before the 4th generation, and I just had gotten one when it came out. I think maybe a month afterward, and it's really, really nice. I use it for Netflix. I use it to just play random games. I'll play sometimes
Netflix and chill, David.
Yeah. Netflix and
chill. For whatever reason, that somehow ended up as the title of one of our group chats that we have as a group, as our podcast team. Andy decided to create about 20 group chats, and they all have different names.
I think I was spamming you guys because you wouldn't respond, so I decided I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, well, that's a little Jailbreak Weekly behind the scenes for you right there.
Yeah.
We're you know what we're really you guys are a really fun group to work with. I really enjoy working with you guys.
Same here.
Podcasting and stuff.
Same here.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's always great.
It is always great.
Yeah.
So,
but,
yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I don't think you finished your thoughts on Plurt. Go ahead.
As I was saying, though, I mean, it definitely looks more native, obviously, on the Apple TV with the actual tvOS. It would look kind of weird with the iOS style pop-up with tvOS, because I know there's a Apple TV jailbreak. Obviously, it's nowhere near like where jailbreak this day and age for iOS for 2016 is like tweak-wise, but eventually it might be there where you can modify different parts of tvOS and all that kind of stuff. So it definitely would look very weird to have iOS pop-ups on tvOS. But tvOS pop-ups on iOS doesn't actually look that bad, but I think it looks better on tvOS.
It looks good. Exactly, it just looks better. But it's 99 cents, so if you want to check it out. And that actually kind of leads into another topic I want to talk about. So basically, nitoTV, who was working on a GUI for the Apple TV jailbreak, he actually released nitoTV, which is basically a platform. He released himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that sounds really bad. I should have said that. But anyway.
It wasn't an April Fool's Day thing. We promise, guys. This is, like, legitimate.
Yeah. This tool called nitoTV allows you to install tweaks, modifications, applications on your jailbroken Apple TV. And Pengu recently released the Apple TV jailbreak a couple of weeks ago. So basically now it's useful. You can install certain packages, certain extensions, and whatnot.
Oh, so he did finally release that. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wanted to preface that by saying there's really not that much to install at this point.
Exactly.
Because he just released it, like, it's brand new and there's, like, 4, maybe 5 packages that are actually on this thing. So, I mean, it's definitely, like, a cool idea. And maybe, like, somewhere down the line, Suark will actually, like, make a official Apple TV, tvOS version of Cydia. But until then, this is, like, a pretty good idea.
And you know what? I'm just thinking, activator on the Apple TV 4? Anyone? Like that would be epic.
I guess.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. I mean, because, I don't know, like, maybe assigning the, that would be a fun little prank. Holding down of the Siri button on the Apple TV Siri remote would just automatically respring your Apple TV.
Or you can have it so it evokes Super Slam, which is one of my favorite jailbreaks.
Oh, you know what I think would be a great prank, and it really bothers me when people like take my phone. Like if someone has my phone,
I hate that too.
It really bothers me. And usually people take it because they want to take pictures with it because like the whole live photos thing and all that stuff. So I should make it so that when you launch the camera app, it just turns off. The phone just turns off.
Or it just locks itself.
Just locks itself. Yeah, exactly. Because then they can't get. No, I'm kidding. But seriously though, congrats to nitoTV because I know he's been working on this application. So it's awesome that he finally got it released.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, again, it's not gonna have any use for me because I don't have a jailbroken Apple TV. But if you're one of those few people who managed to get a 9.0.x Apple TV jailbroken, this could be good for you. So we have one last thing to talk about, and that was the iPhone SE and iPad Pro 9.7-inch release, which happened earlier this week. So I actually got my hands on the SE. I have the rose gold 16 gig.
You and your rose gold. And
you and your 16 gigabyte.
Yeah. That's. I was just gonna say, yeah.
Like 16 gigabytes in 2016.
Hey, I get by. I mean, everything for me is on the cloud. I have all my music on Spotify. All my photos are backed up to iCloud.
Yeah.
iCloud hack. What?
See, no, I couldn't do that because I have I take too many videos for YouTube and stuff, and just like I have music stored locally on the phone and things stored locally. Like I just couldn't get by with 16 gigs. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I paid 99 cents per month. This is what I do, and I get 50 gigs of iCloud storage. Like, it's totally worth it. It's a steal, if you ask me.
I don't know. I mean, personally, I think in today's day and age, getting by on a 16 gig phone is easier than it has been in the past, just because, at least down in the U.S., because you guys have really cheap phone plans. So like if you want to stream your podcast or stream your music, you can do that. But I have a 128 gig phone, enough said. So like for me, the issue is that I travel a lot, and because I travel a lot, I need to have stuff stored locally on my phone, and because of that, like I have gigabytes and gigabytes and gigabytes of music, so my music alone would probably not be enough, where it would probably take up a 16 gig. I mean, I don't know, Andy. I can see why a 16 gig might appeal, but dude, like, I don't know. I still can't believe you managed to do it.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
I do.
At least it's not 8 gigabytes, okay?
I could do 8 gigs. Yeah. Okay, I could do 8 gigs if I had
I'm pretty sure I had like an 8 gigabyte iPod Touch 4th generation. At one point.
I still have an iPhone 4 8 gig.
You know, it's really interesting because I was reading an article the other day. Where was it? I can't remember what site it was on, but it was talking about how it costs Apple only $12 more to make a 64 gigabyte phone than a 16 gigabyte phone. So basically, they're making $80 extra bucks in profit per iPhone when you buy a 64 gig. So can you imagine the amount of extra profit they're making when you buy a 128?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, like without like a phone, just like an external hard drive, like. I think like a year and a half ago purchased like a 1 terabyte external hard drive. It cost like $20 maybe, whereas if there's a 1 terabyte iPhone, it probably would cost like a lot more money.
Oh well, no
$20.
question, but that's a little different though. But...
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying.
Wait, you got a 1 terabyte hard drive for $20?
Maybe 20, but I don't know. It was like
dude, no, it would be more expensive than that.
It was.
Did you go to one of those sketchy stores in the mall when they like? Don't speak English.
I honestly don't remember. It was a little while ago, but it might have been like 50. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it was cheap. That's my point. It was like it wasn't real expensive. It was cheap.
Yeah, but back on track with the SE. It's basically it's a faster iPhone 5S. Essentially, I did a speed test. It's very clear. It feels exactly like an iPhone 5S. It's the same exact external design with a few minor tweaks, but. Basically, if you have an iPhone 5S and it feels slow and you're having lag and whatnot, then go ahead and update. But if you're fine, there's really no need to. It's not like anything huge. For me.
I really like the SE, but I just wish it had. It's not like I said last episode. There's a couple real big factors for me of why I don't want to buy it. So because of that, if you haven't listened to the last episode, go listen to the last episode. But. Yeah, I don't know. So overall, Andy, like, are you gonna end up returning this phone?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't buy it to use it or anything like that. I love my plus-sized iPhone, but I just wanted to check it out, so I'm probably gonna end up returning it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's funny how the jailbreaking community set a precedent for Apple because look what happened. No 3D touch and live photos are still able to be accomplished.
Exactly.
Wonder where they got that from.
Well, it's such the whole marketing with the iPhone 6s. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. Like a lot of the ads, they advertise, Hey Siri functionality untethered. You could do that on an iPhone 4S with a jailbreak. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well. Yeah. The only thing that's changed is everything, guys. Come on.
Oh my God.
That's the tagline. Like. You wonder why Apple's having a down year, and then you look at the 6S marketing, and it's like, oh, okay, that makes a little more sense.
You can't tell them apart. Oh, everything.
You know what's really sad though too is, in my opinion, the 6S is the most solid phone they've ever released. Like
listen, I jumped from the 5 to the 6S, so like anything I say is gonna be extremely biased because like it was a huge change for me. So I'm just like, I can't bash it. I can't bash the 6S. Like, I love it too much because it's like so good. Like the speed overall, like compared to the 5, is just ridiculous. Like it loads things up instantly compared to the 5.
I don't know. Like the 5S was the first device to have the 64-bit processing. So I think that for me, everything just automatically seems to speed up then. But then again, I was upgrading from an iPhone 4, so
yeah,
I'm kind of biased.
Yeah, that's same here. I went from a 4S to a 5S, so I can't really comment on that. But yeah, so in summary, Andy, you're planning to return your SE.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
okay, yeah. So
I was just gonna say, Andy, do you plan on getting the iPad Pro 9.7? Because I know you got the other iPad Pro, but I was wondering like if the True Tone display was enough to kind of get you to get it, or like.
I hate iPads. I'm going to be honest. Like they serve no purpose in my life, and I think a lot of people feel the same way.
Yeah.
So I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done with iPads. I've tried several times. It just doesn't fit into my life.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Definitely.
I never
So with
used
that
my
being
iPad
said,
Mini.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. David's iPad Mini has lived under his bed for like the last year.
Like literally, it's still on 8.4. I take it out like once every like 4 months.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you like lose it in your bed or something. So.
Whoa, what is David doing with his iPad in his bed?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
We just
Anyway.
did that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with that being said, we're going to move on to some questions from the chat. So if you guys have any questions and you're listening live, make sure to hit us up in the chat. I'm just going to scroll through here, see if I can find any questions.
I see a few like funny things in the chat, but like I don't really.
Yeah,
see the
if they're
questions.
funny, read them out. If they're funny,
Yeah,
read
go
them
ahead.
Okay. Somebody said, wait, let me see. So he said a blind person could have seen he was a fraud. I guess he was referring to enMTW.
out.
I think that was kind of funny.
yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. There's not really that much. It's like I don't know. There were like during like when we were talking like for a long time, I saw a lot of things pop up, but they weren't like question related. But like now, just like everybody's just like silent. Hold on, let's see. Hopefully we still. Oh, it's because all of a sudden we had like everybody else. Well, actually, I don't know because it says active in chat only like one person, so I don't know because I have the chat popped out. Let's see. I'll go back.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Whether you
Regardless.
contributed to the chat or not, we appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, if you guys want to like have your questions be answered right now, because like we're not really doing anything else, like now's the time to do it. Go in the chat and ask us questions, and we'll answer them right now. So.
Yeah, and also you could tweet us at JB_weekly.
Yeah, that too.
JB does not stand for Justin Bieber, by the way.
Yeah.
You guys gotta admit, "Sorry" is a good song. Like,
No.
I can't deny it. It's a good song. It's totally a good song. I'm a believer.
Oh my god.
Hey guys, like it's undeniable. Everybody loves that song. It's
No.
not just me. Well, apparently Justin doesn't.
Justin's just like no.
Okay. Well, on that note, it looks like
Wait, we got
I think we're all
one.
set. Oh, we got one. Did we? It's not popping up for
David,
me.
David Y.I. Yai? I don't know how to say his name. Is innovation _ pig real? I do not think he is. If he
I
is,
think this
the
is someone who
jailbreak
is claiming they had a new jailbreak, right?
I think it was during the time that I'm pretty sure it was during the time that I was on vacation, and this guy was like claiming that he had like a jailbreak, and it was like really a virus, and he was gonna like make people install it and like get their IPs and stuff.
Oh, that's exactly who it is. I think.
It was some wacky dude who like didn't make any sense. Oh, wacky dude.
Yeah. I'm the one.
No, but like that's. It wasn't supposed to be a joke, but like whatever.
Yeah, no, I know.
Anyway, so that's what I have to say about that. Let's see.
So, David, you have another question from I Killed Apple 3. And he asks, why is the iPhone 6S a good phone for you, David?
Why is it a good phone for me? Okay, well, I'll start out by saying, obviously, I had already said this previously, but before I had the iPhone 6S, I had the iPhone 5. The iPhone 5 for a long time. Yeah. Well, enough said there, but...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The iPhone 5 for a long time, because it was my first iPhone, was a sufficient phone for me. Like, I wanted a new phone. I wanted all the new technology, but, like, it was, like, still fairly okay. Like, iOS 7, even pretty much 8 was somewhat okay on the iPhone 5. So I was, like, good with where I was. I was like, okay, it's not like it runs like super sluggish with like the iPhone 4 or the iPhone 4S where it runs like you try to double tap to get into the app switcher and it like lags and doesn't let you do it for like 30 seconds. So like I was pretty like content and happy with the 5. But then when, you know, the opportunity presented itself where I could get a new phone and I saw, you know, everything that was new with the 6S, I really, really wanted the Touch ID sensor because I really, really wanted to jailbreak the 6S when the jailbreak came out and get a bunch of those jailbreak tweaks that were, you know, for Touch ID devices, so like BioProtect, BioLockdown, that kind of stuff. That way I could like utilize it to lock down apps and a bunch of other stuff. And I knew also 3D Touch would be pretty interesting for the jailbreak community as well, because 3D Touch, like, you know, Touch ID with the 5S, was a brand new technology. And, you know, there were some tweaks, obviously, that came from 3D Touch as a whole that were actually pretty cool. So the 6S right now is really good for me because I am even though I'm not jailbroken right now, I am definitely a power user of my phone. And I probably should have gotten the 6S Plus, I'll be honest, because with the amount of, you know, work that I do on my phone every day, it's like, it's always like dying by the time I'm like done with my day. So, and I know the 6S Plus obviously has a bigger battery because it's bigger. But yeah, I know I'm rambling on and on. But that's why the 6S is a good phone for me, because I jumped from a 5 to a 6S and instantly just everything was better. The camera was better, and, you know, obviously I wanted that because it was 12 megapixels, and, you know, I do YouTube and stuff, so I really wanted a better camera, so I was happy all around. But yeah.
Gotcha. So we have a few more questions as well from Twitter. So Luke Conti asks, when do you think there will be a new jailbreak? We honestly don't really know.
Okay.
Basically,
we don't know, but let's okay, you know what? This is good. Let's each take a wild guess, and this is not 100%.
Well,
None of us know when a new jailbreak is coming out. But
the last wild guess I took, I said Christmas of 2015 or New Year's, and I was wrong
Still hasn't
both
happened,
times.
yeah.
I was right. I want to mention something. I was right. I was right that time.
Yeah, you were right, saying you don't think it was going to come out in 2015, which it didn't.
Here we are, halfway through 2016.
Here we are, like 6 freaking months later.
No,
after
hey,
the jailbreak first
4
came
months,
out.
but yeah.
No, from
I
9.0.2, I mean, when the jailbreak, like the last time we had like a jailbreak.
Okay, yeah, that's true, that's true.
But,
okay,
you know, these things take forever to develop, so, you know, it's extremely difficult, so, you know, you got to give people some slack.
That being said, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that there is going to be a jailbreak released before WWDC.
I
would
hope
say
that's right.
fair. Yeah.
I definitely think that hopefully by the time Jailbreak Con rolls around, we should have a jailbreak out. That's what I'm hoping for.
I don't know if this is just like randomness. I mean, it obviously is randomness. There's no pattern to this, but it seems like jailbreaks are always released in June. Like the iOS 5.1.x jailbreak was June, 7.1.x. Like,
wasn't there one in 6 released in June too?
No, that was the 1 year that they skipped.
That was the 1 year. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, yeah. But if I had to guess, I'm gonna say before WWDC. We don't know when that is gonna be, but it's usually at the start of June.
It should be June 13th, because that's the first Monday after the first weekend of June, which is usually when they have them. But that's just me speculating. But I don't know. Yeah, again, I'd say June.
He's got it down to a science, guys.
Oh yeah, I got this, guys.
Well, what's pretty cool about I just wanted to like go over WWDC and iOS 10 or iOS X, however you want to say it, is what's pretty cool about that is the fact that like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but April 1st was actually, so like yesterday was actually Apple's 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool in terms of like iOS 10 is Apple's 40th anniversary iOS. So like I'm kind of wondering if maybe they'll, I don't know. It's completely random.
Cydia collaboration.
Yes. Yes.
No, well, Billy, if you look at Billy Ellis's April Fool's Day video, it was
that was his
iOS
prank.
10 alpha. And then he showed how you can install it, and it came bundled with Cydia. I was like, yeah, that's fake.
So, do we have any other questions on Twitter?
Yeah, we just have one more
Here,
that I wanted to quickly
I'll
address.
say it.
Go ahead.
It says it's from Mayor Steven 42, and he says if/when a new jailbreak comes out, do you think it will skip 9.2 and 9.2.1 and go straight to just 9.3 and 9.3.1? What do you guys think?
I would. Oh, you go ahead, Justin.
You know what? To tell you the truth, whether it does or doesn't, it doesn't really matter because 9.2 and 9.2.1 are not downgradable right now. The window is still open, but it's not going to be open for very much longer for 9.2.1. So honestly, I don't think it will really matter. If anything, I could see a jailbreak coming out for just 9.2 and 9.2.1 and not 9.3.
Right.
But I think that it is plausible that there could be a 9.3x jailbreak and they just skip over it, but to tell you the truth, I don't really know how much it would matter.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, I would say probably because if you look back, Taiji for iOS 8.3 and 8.4, that went all the way back to 8.2 and 8.1.3. The same thing with even Evasion 7, and I think the original Pengu supported back from 8.1 to 8.0. But then again, there's firmwares like 8.4.1 that have never received a jailbreak too. So
yeah,
right. What I'm thinking is that maybe there might be. Here's the thing: is that I think it was December when that whole 3K assistant announcement came up, and then they quickly pulled it. And I think the reason for that, as we kind of already know, is they probably had no jailbreak whatsoever. Is because we're still sitting here. It's April 2nd, and that was December, so that was a long time ago, and there hasn't been a new jailbreak from Taiji since. So I think they were pretty much guys, what are you talking about? We have no jailbreak. We have nothing. I don't know what you guys are tweeting. So they deleted it. But yeah, what I think could happen possibly is, I guess it might kind of depend on whether or not enMTW is real and whether or not he did sell his exploits to Taiji, / Pengu or whoever, because if he did, it's for iOS 9.3 and 9.3.1 because he scrapped the iOS 9.2 and 9.2.1 jailbreak that he was working on. So that makes me think that, or maybe I don't even know, because maybe he still sold those exploits to Taiji or Pengu. I don't even know. It's
yeah. Again, there's no way to tell with any of this backdealing stuff until anything comes public. But as all we know is he sold his 9.3.x exploits to China. So on that note, thanks to everyone who sent us a question. We really appreciate the user interaction, and we just love talking to you guys. So again, on that note, we'll talk to you guys in next week, hopefully, for a brand new episode of Jailbreak Weekly. It's been a lot of fun.
You don't want to take another question because I see a few more questions here. Sorry.
Okay, just because you said it, we can quickly answer one more question.
We'll take one more.
Okay.
Okay, so this is from Luke Conti as well. Yeah. So he said, so do you guys believe enMTW was fake all along? Has he had no bugs? We touched on this earlier in a short wrap-up. Some of us believe he's fake, some of us don't. I'm personally 50-50. Yeah, the only real way to tell is to just wait. Well, let's be honest here.
Right.
So
personally, I think he was fake all along. That's just my opinion. But
and I said, the only way we can know 100% for sure is when Taiji, it looks like it's Taiji at this point anyway, if he was legit, if Taiji goes and releases a jailbreak and then credits enMTW for his exploit, then we know that he was legitimate and we know that he actually had something. But if he doesn't, then we know that it was all fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, thanks to everyone. If we don't get to your question, I'm sorry. There's only so much time in the show. But again, you could tweet us, at JB_weekly, and we'll just reply to you guys with text.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
So once again, I feel like I've tried to end 4 times. But hey, it's just so much fun. So, it's good, No, it's good. It's good to have conversations about jailbreaking. I always enjoy it. But
me too.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but we'll talk to you guys next week. And until then, this is the Jailbreak Weekly crew signing out.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
See ya.
Adios.